I've hit the button. Has the streaming commenced? We'll find out once the streams catch up to me. All right, looks like Twitch is a go. Fantastic. Ooh, oh, good video quality. I'm not mad about that. Still waiting on YouTube. And YouTube is a black screen. That's worrying. There we go. Excellent. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live Coding with me, Rachel. That's all I have to say. No, I'm going to be talking for like an hour, so. We're working on this project, for those of you who are new. Let me just pull up the New York Times Dialect quiz, because it's the new homepage that I have for myself. It should be. So you may remember in 2013, the New York Times had this fun dialect quiz. There were 25 questions, and you answered the questions. And at the end of the quiz, it's like, you speak most like somebody from... I can only come up with cities outside of the United States right now for some reason. Someone from Detroit, that's in the United States. And also like people from Ann Arbor and a third city in Michigan, Traverse City. I'm out of cities in Michigan now. And you had like this nice heat map of where your language usage most closely patterned with the language usage of the people who took the original survey. And it was a good time, and everyone had a lot of fun. But the big problem, well, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but in terms of creating dialect questionnaires, the quiz itself was multiple choice. And the problem with multiple choice things is that they push people to say things they might not otherwise say. So when you're trying to get dialect information from somebody, you want the thing that they would say if they weren't like thinking about it too hard. And the problem with having multiple choices, and I'm like, yins. Oh, I don't say yins. Maybe I do say yins sometimes. I never say yins. Or, well, people say that around me, so I'm okay with that. So maybe I do say yins, and that's what I should say. And you end up with results that are a little bit less useful and are less likely to sort of like extrapolate well. Something ecological validity. Ooh, I got peanut butter on my face. Excuse me. It's pretty early in the morning for me, so I just finished breakfast. So we're building a virtual assistant that will give you a dialect quiz, basically the same dialect quiz, more or less. And what we've been doing for the last bit, I won't say like a month, it's been a while we've been working on this, is we've been working on a classifier to take in the answers to the questions and then turn those into a guess about what dialect your usage most closely resembles. Harry says, New Orleans, y'all. Yeah. I'm a y'aller as well. I'm not from New Orleans, but I do say y'all. Yeah. And okay, so we're at the point now where we have two classifiers. So we have a k-nearest neighbors classifier, and we have an XGBoost classifier. It's radiant. Extreme gradient boosting is the thing that the classifier is. And they both work kind of okay. They have a really high error rate. But the target class is a combination of city and state, so that's not super surprising to me. And I was thinking about it, and we've spent quite a bit of time futzing with these models and trying different evaluation techniques and trying to really improve them as much as they can be. And at this point, I think that's all a bit of, not really cart before the horse. Yak shaving. That's what I'm looking for. It feels like a bit of yak shaving. So where's that thing where like, oh, I have to change a light bulb, but then I go to get the ladder, and oh, the ladder's broken, so I have to fix the ladder. Oh, I don't have any like glue to fix the ladder, so I have to go to the hardware store. Oh, when I leave, the door opens and the hinge squeaks, so I have to get like oil for the hinge. And I think we've gotten too far off track. And so what I want to do today is actually get our model. May not be the best model, that's okay, we can iterate on it. Get our model to the point where we can plug it into our dialect assistant, I think I'm calling it Dialect bot. And actually start using it and start testing it and see if it works. Because I'm imagining that the thing that's probably going to take the longest is taking in the user input, matching it to one of these multiple choices. So the original data set, let me see, nope, that's not it. Big data copy text, this is it. So the original data set was multiple choice, and one of the options was other. So matching our answers to the correct, like, multiple choice, right? Because people can put in anything because it's a conversational assistant. I think that's going to take quite a bit of time. And then making sure that the classifier runs well and efficiently, I think, is also going to take quite a bit of time. And I want to get going, man. I want to start using my assistant, even if it is very bad the first iteration, which it probably is going to be. And I got coffee today. Little dialect fact. So this sort of backward C-looking character is the vowel aw, or open O, which some people in the United States have, and for some people it has been merged with ah, which is sort of like a little round scripty A. I have them distinct, which is why I have the coffee cup. All right, so what do we have? What do we need to export? So we did some stuff with k-nearest neighbors that we're just not going to use. We're going to use only the XGBoost model, I think. It performed a little bit better. And the thing that I really like about XGBoost that we might do a little bit in the future is you can actually look at the sort of importance of the features. You can be like, the feature that was most important for... So overall in the model, you can say, oh, the thing that's most discriminative is whether you say soda or pop. And that might be like a fun thing that we can answer people's questions about. Regardless, where was I? Taking a sip of water. Regardless, we're gonna have to get the model out. That's for the future. So, what of these things are we going to need to export and have in our actions? Let's run everything just from top to bottom. We don't need to worry about the questions with text. So this file, this is just training data. This is just training. This is just training data, and it's not going to be passed on. There is, okay, so it looks like it's switching back every time a cell finishes, which is great. There is some probability that I've gotten the encoding wrong, and that these answers are actually mismatched to the actual answers. We won't know that until we, I guess, try to take the quiz. So we don't need the question data. Oh, it looks like we're actually reading it in twice. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. We don't need this combination of city-state. Dagum says, I've had too much coffee, too. Cheers, yeah. And Daniel Chen says, oh, look, we're in Python mode today. We are. We're going to be working on model export, and then, so the way that we're actually going to serve the model, this might be a helpful high-level guide for me to think through. So the way we serve the model is when you have a Rasa assistant, you have a server running the NLU and the dialogue management, so taking in what the user says, figuring out the information there, and then picking what to say next. And one of the things that you can say next is to run a custom action that's running on a separate server, and the Rasa SDK that we provide is in Python. It can be any arbitrary code, but you're gonna have to do a little bit more futzing if it's not in Python. So we'll have our model running in a separate action server, and then we'll our Rasa server will go back and forth with the person who's using the assistant, ask them all the questions in the quiz, which we also haven't put together yet. We'll get there. Ask them all the questions in the quiz, and then the next part will be, once all of that information is stored as slots in a form, we will pass that information over to the action server. The action server will run the classifier based on the input data and return the classification, and then the Rasa server will pass that information back to the user, and then they can ask questions and stuff. So what we're doing now is we're taking just the bits we need to serve the model on the action server. Is the point. Nora says a vibe of Sheldon Cooper sometimes. I don't think I know who that is. Sorry. I didn't get your reference. Oh, is that the guy from the sitcom? The one who doesn't have social skills? Oh. Okay, I guess. So what do we need? We need a way to take the language answers that the human has given and convert those into the same format that our classifier expects. So we need to save out our, where is it at? Our label encoders. So I'm gonna add in to do export label encoders. And so what this will do is it'll take in the text, the labels, and convert them to numbers. And we want to use the same label encoder to train the model as we do to run the model. That way the same text will always be mapped to the same numbers, so we'll have repeatable results. If we used a new label encoder, our text would be matched onto a different number, and then we'd have very, very bad accuracy, which we kind of do already, but it's fine. Oh, people are saying from Big Bang Theory. Okay, so it is the guy from the sitcom. And Hassan says, oops, I forgot your name. No worries. I am Rachel. Pleased to meet you. All right. So we need to export the label encoder so we can get the data in, convert it to numbers, pass it on. And then we also need, all of this we can just ignore. We're not doing anything with KNN. We don't need to export it, but we do, actually, you know what I should do? Okay, sorry, I'm just thinking. New file, action test.ipynb. Awesome. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have a new file in a new session, and that way I can test everything that we actually need. So the steps that we're going to need are we're going to need to encode incoming data, step one. Then we need to, the next thing we need to do is transform into D matrix format, question mark? Let's check the classification real quick. So, k-nearest neighbors, ignore all of that. So this is the model training. We can just ignore that. We only need the model itself. To do export BST bigger model. So we need to do that. And then to do write function for returning predictions. We need to do that. And I think all right, oh, this is not, sorry. That's not where that to-do should be. This is the top one accuracy. That's not what we need. We want to predict, save that. We want to predict the top 3 error No, we don't want to predict the top 3 error. We want to return the top 3 answers. That's what we want to do. Because that's what the original quiz does. And I think it's also sort of interesting to be like, oh, here's the 3 most likely things. KU, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, says, new here, what are we making? So we are working on a virtual assistant sort of chatbot thing that will replicate, more or less, what the New York Times Dialect quiz does. So we've built a classifier to take in answers and return the top 3 dialects. And right now we've trained that, and right now we're taking all of our trained models and everything we need to make the model run, and we're putting that into like sort of a smaller package, and then that's the code that we will run every time we are ready to do classification with the information that our virtual assistant has gotten from the user. I know it's a lot of moving parts, but the question that I had was, do we need to convert our incoming data to the D matrix format, which is a format specific to the XGBoost library? And yes, we do. So I'm going to take my question mark out there. So our data comes in, we encode it. Actually, we need to import encoder and model. Probably not import, read in. Load in. There we go. And then encode the incoming data using the encoder, and then transform that into the D matrix format, and then classify using our pre-trained model, and then finally return the top 3 classes. Okay, so that's everything that we need to do. And we're going to need to take our label encoder and our, actually I think it's not just the label encoder, because I think we saved, where do we do our encoding? All right, here we go. So what are we doing here? So we have created a dictionary to store our label encoding in, and then we've gone through our data frame that we read in. Data frames are just sort of like tabular data formats, like a spreadsheet. Now Russ says, hi, how are you? I'm doing okay. I haven't been sleeping great lately, which I think is not unique to me. But other than that, doing okay. Better than I could be. That's a true answer. Okay. So we created a dictionary to store our label encoding in. Ryan says, you don't actually have to convert to D matrix just for inference. You can do inference on NumPy arrays directly. Ooh, that's good to know. All right. In that case, I'm going to take that out. So the big benefit of the D matrix format is that it's quicker and much more memory efficient. But for an individual user, they will have answered 19 questions. So you're going to have a 19 by 1 matrix, which is, that ain't that big. So I think we're okay with using a slightly less memory efficient data format. I would go so far as to call that microdata. A little bit more coffee. Microdata is probably actually a real term that means something specific, and I don't know what that is. So if I've misused that, sorry. Excellent, helpful. Okay, so we should have here, I think we can just save this and load it, right? Because it's a library. No, new cell, there we go. I did too many. Boop, boop. And I accidentally turned that into text rather than code. So if we look at training data, this should be, nope. Wait, what? Oh, gotcha. Okay, so this is the data that has been label encoded. The label encoder is in this dictionary D Yeah. Okay. So this is actually a dictionary of label encoders because there's one for every column of the data frame. So basically every variable has a specific label encoding that we're trying to use. Yeah, okay, so we can just save and load the dictionary. And then the other thing that we need to do is we need to save and load our XGBoost model. I highly recommend against pickling or any binary storage format for model format for sharing and moving models. Exporting model. So right now I'm just, that's for R. I'm just Googling how to export XGBoost format models. And what's the difference between save model and dump model? XGBoost guide. There we go. Okay. I found the docs. Whoop-a-da-boop. Install data interface. All right. So I just want to train and save and load the model. Training, early stopping, prediction, plotting. But no, I want to save it. How do I want to save it? All right. Booster, random forest, parameter tuning, custom objective, FAQs. It might be an FAQs. R, JVM, Ruby, Julia, C++, CLI, contribute, installation guide. It might be an FAQs. Tuning. The model. Big one. Distributed. Port the model to my own system. Can run across. Yes. Missing value. Chin Daniel says, is D-matrix format the same thing that Patsy uses? I don't know what Patsy is. So, maybe? I don't know. Format to export XGBoost model. Let's see if this helps. A blog post. All right, let's take a peek. When was this updated? October 2019. Okay, that was a while ago. And XGBoost also, XGBoost also recently had a major release, so they are now on 1.0. Exciting, which might be fairly simple. Pickle. Excuse me. Ugh. It's spring here in Seattle, and the pollen is through the roof. It's really bad pollen right now. But I haven't seen another human being who doesn't live in my house for like a week and a half, so probably just pollen. Da da da, I don't want to pickle it. JobLib is part of the SciPy ecosystem. Have not used JobLib previously. Make use faster approach for very large models. Faster. Ryan says there was a link for API reference, probably in there. Pretty sure it's .save though. It's pretty interesting looking at the file outputs. Very simple and small files. Interesting. And Daniel Chen says, I'll go do some exploring. Just FYI, Patsy is the library that lets you specify models in R. Y tilde x1 plus x2 plus x3 and gives you the dummy encoded design matrix for you to use. It's used in stats models. What is this? Patsy Python. That definitely sounds directly up my alley. One of my biggest pet peeves in the Python ecosystem is that every single modeling library has its own syntax for specifying the model. Like, sometimes you'll get .fit and .predict, but that's pretty much the extent of the normalization across libraries. Drives me nuts. Just a quick little overview. Hey. Describing statistical models, especially linear models, or models that have a linear component in building design matrices. This is amazing. Today I learned. Thank you for sharing, Daniel. All right. .save. So I guess let's try this JobLib. Okay, so it looks like the big difference is that it's joblib.dump instead of model.save, or sorry, pickle.dump. All right. Let's try that. I feel like there's a, Oh, and Shane Joan Paul says, saving XGBoost is under training in the XGBoost docs, which... tutorials, training, .save model. Okay, helpful. Dump to a text file. A save model can be loaded as follows. What's the difference between BST and JobLib? BST versus JobLib. Dumping models using JobLib, dump multiple files, JobLib. Subtools provide lightweight blah blah blah. Disk caching of functions, lazy reevaluation, easy simple parallel computing, fast and robust on large data in particular, BSD license, all very good. Memorize or make like functionality for Python functions that works well for arbitrary Python objects, including very large NumPy arrays, separate resistance flows. Return only if necessary. This probably is supposed to be embarrassingly simple parallel helper. Fast compressed persistence, or replacement for pickle to work effectively on Python objects containing large data. Ryan says, BST is just the name of their variable. I think it just means boosted trees or something like that. All right, helpful. Let's give it a try. Oh, the other thing that I need to do is save out this label encoder. Well, it sounds like JobLib might be a good choice. My big worry is that it's going to be very environment dependent, but I guess we'll find out the hard way, huh? All right, let's do Newson, import. I'm assuming it's just JobLib. Nope, it sure ain't. Cache, calling square. What does your code sample look like? All right, from JobLib, import dump, from JobLib, import load. I may need to install this library. Sure do. Can I remember the keyboard shortcut? I sure can't. Open internal. Pypo. Oh, all right. That was fairly straightforward. I was expecting to fight with it a little bit. I've been working on this Windows computer now for a bit, and things are rarely as easy as I feel like they should be on the inside. Goodbye. Peace out, buddy. All right, oh, so it's just, that's right, because I imported dump as a function. All right, dump, and I'm going to call this encoder. No, I can't call it that. I need to call it the name of the variable. Label encoder. All right, there we are. And then let's see if we can do I need to give it a name when I load it as well? Gotcha. So we're gonna call this D again. Love not to have joblib.dat. No module named joblib. All right. I see. Well, so maybe I need to save this? Huh? Okay. No module joblib. That's definitely where the error is. That's definitely the name that we... This is not gonna work. It's definitely installed. Why does it not work with this notebook? Mysterious. All right. Is this... All right. It doesn't... Oh. Mystery solved. Add the wrong kernel. Oh, and Daniel 10 just mentioned that. Yep, I figured it out. Thank you. Sweet. All right, excellent. That does work. That was frustrating and confusing, but we got through it. And thank you for your help, everybody. Sometimes I wish there were less delay in the stream, because it must be very frustrating for you to watch me struggle while you have already said the answer. But I also feel like that's the real live streaming experience, is to watch somebody else just be like, All right, so we're good there. Foop, foop. And we're gonna remove this to do, because we have to done it. Nobody says that. That's just me. Goodbye. I'm gonna put this up in my imports because I'm not a monster. I don't know what order that should be in. We'll run black and it will fix it at some point. Okay, and then the next thing that we need to do is we need to save our model. And I believe it is just dump, because we imported the function, BST bigger, and then we need to come up with a good name for it, and I'm going to call it Dialect Classifier.joblib.dat. It looks wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's right. But it looks wrong? Meh, whatever. It doesn't matter if it is poorly spelled. That is not a problem. And then we're going to call this... what should we call this? XG... Let's just call it Dialect Classifier. Okay, and we are also going to need XGBoost. Actually, I think all we're going to need is fit from XGBoost at the moment, so not fit, predict. Nope. I guess I'm just going to import all of XGBoost and we'll figure it out later, because we need the class of the model as well. And it's not that big of a library, so I'm not that worried. Harris says, no, Rachel, thanks so much for doing this live. I always struggle with this stuff, and technology is so frustrating. This live stream is awesome. Oh, thank you, Harris. I would agree. Technology is frustrating sometimes. But it allows us to do great things like code together on a Friday morning. Sorry, I've lost all sense of the passage of time, apparently. Like, time of day, I've still got a pretty good grip on. I'm fortunate to have windows. Like, windows to the outside. I don't know who doesn't have that. Anyway, good morning, everybody. All right, let's create a little sample data set. And I'm just gonna randomly grab one. Daniel says, oh my god, it's Friday. I've literally not left the house this week. Same. I stuck my head out the door to let my dog out and run in the backyard. Aw, that's nice. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow when I'm going to do different things on the computer that I've been doing during the week. It'll be great. What do I need? I need a little test data set, a little something from, let's do something from the training data set. It's up here somewhere. Train, X test. Let's do the first 5. I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, it worked. Nice. I guess just like, let's randomly do the 999th one. That didn't work. Nope. Are there not 999 of them? I guess let's do the 4th one. Nope. The 4th one? Nope, that's going to be through 4. You can see how confident I am working with NumPy arrays. Is there a sample method? No. Helpful. Oh, hey, Alan, how's it going? I just want one row. That's all I want. All right, to Google. One random row from a NumPy array. Oh, Diagram says iLock. iLock. Okay, that's the... No, yeah, okay, yeah. No, that definitely is. That is one row of the data frame, but now it's a column. Excellent. And let's just save this as... I guess since we're already using the JobLoad, let's just dump this as well. And we will call this test case dot joblib.stat. Excellent. And then test case, that. Excellent. We will just read this in. Test case equals load. I hate that there's no tab complete right now, and I don't know how to stop that. I think it's probably, there we go. I think it's probably something from the way that like VS Code is handling Jupyter. Tends to be what the funkiness comes from. Great. All right. So let's encode our data. And then, so this, we probably won't actually have test case. Well, we might have test case for testing. So this is going to be what the code in our action server is going to look like. Eventually, this will look good and nice, but right now I'm just focusing on making it work. So, encode incoming data using the encoder. Yes. So I have my saved encoder, which is a dictionary of label encoders. Can I? Nope. So if we look at D, excellent. Okay, now I want to apply this. How? Because I believe we originally created the dictionary as we were applying it. I think. Is this overwriting the label encoders we already have in our dictionary, or is it just using them? So dictionary, it's looking for the name. And then it's doing fit transform. I believe the first time you run it, it's creating those. But on previous runs, it should use, on subsequent runs, it should use the existing ones. I guess we'll find out, huh? All right. Except it's not called D. Okay, then it's called D. Did we save the wrong label encoder? I think we might have saved the wrong label encoder. Why can't N? Okay, yes. And then what did we use to train our XGBoost model? The big one. Yeah, we 100% saved the wrong label encoder. That's okay. Very fixable. Doop, doop. I know, it's a little bit of a mess, but it'll be fine. All right, so that should work now. Did I run this? I did, excellent. And when we rerun this, we should load in the correct one. Okay, so that should be good. So we want to take our test case and apply this. Object has no attribute name. Okay, so we have a NumPy array instead of a data frame, but it is a named array, I believe. Do I need, maybe I don't need to apply, actually. Because apply would be row-wise, and we only have one row. Hey, all right, that worked. Fantastic. Test case encoded. All right. And now we should be able to do dialect classifier dot predict. It's predict, right? Am I off my rocker? Predict. Yeah. All right. No, I'm right. PREDICT, and then nope. Test case encoded. It does have to be a D matrix. Okay. Yeah. Ryan, you are wrong. That's okay. And convert to D matrix. It would probably take a NumPy array if I hadn't trained it with D matrices originally, but since I did, it's probably looking for the same thing it was trained on, which is fine, because this way, if we end up doing batch prediction, the D matrices will be much faster. So if like a lot of people are, would that make sense? I don't think that would make sense, because you're gonna want to make one call for every user when they finish the thing. Well, I still don't mind it being D matrices. So my question now is, I don't have the label. Will that be a problem? Yeah, sure will. 100%. Aaron says, Ryan, what have you done? It's fine. D matrix, no labels, inference time. It's also very possible that there's like a trick to doing it that I just don't know. I have done some very bad typing, and now I have a bunch of ad for labels. Not helpful. D matrix, XG boost, no labels. How to use XG boost to predict without labels? Whoop. This question is off topic. It's currently not accepting answers. Thanks, Stack Exchange. Very helpful. Predict future outcomes. This is blah, blah, blah. All well and good, but I obviously have no labels for my test data. Yeah, to do the training. No. Okay, well, at some point you're going to want to apply this model. Person who's being a little bit snooty. And I think it's the reasonable thing to want to do. Okay. Maybe it would be better to look for the specific error that we got, because surely you must not always need to do surely you must not always need to do that. Expecting two-dimensional numpy.nd array got test case encoded. Oh. Flatten the array by rows and ensure it is float 32. We want to avoid data copies if possible. Okay, so it's looking at an array, data missing, flatten the array by rows. Aha! Aha! Okay, so I think the problem is that our data type here is int64, and the I want to highlight. There we go. And the XGBoost is expecting float32. So we need to convert numpy to float. First autocomplete answer. Convert float array to int. So I want to go the other direction. Data types. Array types and conversions between types. NumPy supports a much greater variety of numerical types than Python does. This section shows which are available and how to modify an array's data type. Great. How do you modify it? Oh, so it's just like dot float 32. All right, let's give it a try. Let's give that a shot. Dot float. It's the name of the array, right? No. It is np dot float 32. Flatten the array by rows and ensure it is float 32. np.float32. np.float32. Aight, okay, did that. Test case encoded. So the other thing that it could be is that it could be one column instead of one row. So it's looking for like an n by 1, and instead it has a 1 by n. Little dimension mismatch problem could be. What the problem is, let's just real quick just take a little peek at this. Okay, so it was int64. Now it is float 32. Fantastic. How do we flatten by rows? Flatten by rows, numpy. Let's see. numpy.nd flatten. ndarray.flatten. Return a copy of the array collapsed in one dimension. Now that does look fairly one-dimensional to me, but we can give it a shot. All right. Oh, we should actually apply the function, huh? That does look exactly the same to me, but we might have better luck. Okay, the error is in the same place. It's in mat shape. If length mat shape does not equal 2. Sorry, and then we actually want length. If length shape. Okay. Noted. Expanding two-dimensional numpy array. Got. What second dimension are you expecting? Again? All right, let's try commenting out this line and seeing what the error we get just from XGBoost is. Expecting data to be a matrix object. All right. Maybe we can just ruin my Windows management over here. All right. XGBoost expecting data to be d matrix array. Dot fit, predict, task, stack exchange, parameter tuning. The actual source code, not what I'm looking for. All right, I guess I am looking for the source code because it looks like that's the thing that has irrelevant stuff in it. All right, D matrix array. Early stopping. What was our error? Expecting data to be a D matrix array. Object, sorry. Shane John Paul says, I think it expects multiple data, so put the array inside square brackets. Like that? Input data cannot be a list. Like that? Expecting two-dimensional NumPy array, got blah blah. Okay, that can't be it. I want to see what they say about data. D matrix. Eval set, boost, update, set param, set attribute, attributes, attribute, copy, safe config, get state, set state, delete, booster. Okay, so let's just square brackets without flatten, like so. Apparently not. Like this. Input data cannot be a list. Like here? No? All right. Oh, actually, it's never gonna get there because it throws an error before there. Nope. Can I, Can I maybe just like convert it to a matrix? NumPy array, convert to matrix. The Swiss says, what type is test case encoded? It should be a NumPy array, yeah, of int64. If that's what you were looking for. NumPy matrix to array to list. Dot array. Squeeze. No, I can pop this over. Dot array. Dot. Can I? Does that? Can I? Convert it to a matrix instead? Okay, so that did actually work. So let's see if this will work. Different error. Progress. Okay, so we've successfully created an XGBoost D matrix. So let's quickly take a look at Test case encode and see what that looks like. So it is a matrix. Feature names are wrong. Maybe I do need the labels. Maybe the labels are the names. Maybe the labels are not the correct answer. They're the names. Okay. I think this is making sense. So a while back ago, as you know, humans say, right. Okay, so when I converted it to a matrix, I think I know what's happening. So when I converted it to a matrix, right, let's stop over writing stuff. Run that again real quick. Okay, so when so test case encoded, does it have names? Does it have labels? No. So when I encoded it, I lost my Okay. So when I encoded it, I lost my names. So I think I need to add them back in. Does that not work? What's you? I'm assuming you're, okay, no, I want all the names. Okay. I think I actually don't need the name. I think I can just do that. Nope, I do need the name. Okay. How do I get the names of... I don't need the names. So the name is the participant label, I think, from the original data set. What I want is I want these guys. Because if we look at test case encoded, we should have Something's funky. This should not be numeric. This should be text. Because that's what the label encoding is doing, is it's taking the text and turning it into numbers. All right, we have a number of problems. Let's write down all our problems. To do, why is this already encoded? To do, need correct feature labels, because at some point we're getting new labels F0 through F18, and those are wrong. We want the actual labels Q101, Q50, whichever those are. Those come from, the Q labels come from, where's my key? There we go. The Q labels are the ones that relate them to the specific question. So Q050 is, how would you address a group of two or more people? I'd say you all. Q014 is, does the first syllable of lawyer rhyme with boy or law when you say it? So those are the labels that we want to match question labels. So I think that we don't actually have a problem with the classifier predicting. I think that once we get our data in the correct format, we should be good to go. Yeah, love to shuffle matrices. That's my whole job. Also, it's not too bad yet, but it's a beautiful sunny day, and there's a sunbeam on my green screen, and when it sort of like comes into view, you're gonna see some spots, but I can't be bothered to rearrange the curtains. Okay. So, thing number one, need to figure out how to get unencoded data out. So we called it test case. This has already been encoded. Let's move all the way up to here. Common cities is the point at which we encoded it. So let's do test training split. Okay, yes, this is exactly where we want to be. So instead of X test, we're going to do common cities. Oh, an error. That's good. Single positional indexer is out of bounds. Oh, that's right. It's called common cities data frame. Common cities is just the list of common cities. There we go. Excellent. All right. So now, I really wish I knew the shortcut to split into cells, because I think it's shift control. Nope, that made it smaller. I think it's shift control dash in Jupyter, but the VS Code wrapper thing is a little bit weird. Let's just do this. All right, so now when we look at test case, we should have words. Words. Fantastic. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so now we should be able to encoded. Fantastic. That looks good. Now we're having problems here. So, test case encoded does not have labels. So we need to get the labels and pass that into our D matrix. Yusef says, why VS Code? I don't know, man. It has Jupyter support. Yeah, I don't have like a strong allegiance to any particular IDE except for RStudio, which is excellent. I love RStudio. But I think VS Code is probably the most popular IDE on Windows for development. If I'm wrong about that, I'd like to know it. And DYZM, I don't know how to say that, dude. I'm sorry. That was a gender neutral dude there, friend. VS Code is nice with all the extensions, etc. And yeah, the Jupyter support is a big plus. Yeah. Despite what some people think about Jupyter, I think it's very helpful for this sort of like figuring stuff out. DYZM. Okay, that sounds German. I'm guessing. I know there's a lot of languages that have die as a particle. Okay, so how do I get... so if we look at test case, how do I get these out? What do we got? Keys? No. Nope, I don't want keys. All right, kurtosis, last, map, mask, mean, median. Name, no, pipe plot. Okay, yeah, I want all of these. How do I get all of those? Reindex, rename, replace, example. Like, I feel like it should be names, but I don't think that will work. Let's see. Oh, maybe it's one of these reserved classes. Stock, format, get attribute, hash, subclass, reduce, set attribute. Nope. And it's you're a NumPy array, right? Object. Okay, so this is a... Okay. We are in pandas land. Pandas get row names. Data frame. All right. Dot index. Yes. Excellent. Okay. Awesome. So that should, hopefully, that should work. All right, we got an error. Set label, label. What's the error? Must be a real number, not a string. Okay. Am I still getting the same error if I do that? Expected two-dimensional NumPy array got 20. One thing that I need to do is I need to drop the actual label. Okay, so we figured out why it's already encoded. The next thing that we need to do is remove the correct label. So it should be of length 19 because we have 19 features and then the dialect area the person's from, which we obviously don't want to use. Carrie says, hello. Hello, welcome. That sunbeam is creeping ever closer. Okay. So the encoding's going... That's not right. Is it? Oh, maybe it is. No. There's no way that a question has 11 answers. I don't think the encoding's right either. Carrie says, hope you're okay with the pandemic. Glad you're still streaming in your new job. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm having a good time streaming. And I think the main thing that I'm dealing with right now is cabin fever. But this is nice. I get to hang out with people and chat. So, things that are wrong. We have the correct label here. I don't think the encoding is right. I don't think we have 16 categories for any of our classes. So something's gone funky there. To do, why is our encoding wrong? Numbers greater than total number of classes, which is not a problem that we had in our other notebook. So that's not good. Dysem says, Twitch is a great way to avoid the pains of quarantine. I've been feeling the cabin fever myself. Yeah, word. Honestly, the worst thing is I can't go to the gym. I'm dying. Like, I have weights at home, but not heavy enough to actually be what I want. That's okay. I feel very fortunate to be set up well. I know a lot of people are hurting very bad right now. Yeah. All right, so the encoding is wrong. To do, get the right labels. Q050, I believe, is one of them, instead of the wrong ones. F0 was one of those. That's not right. And then the classification of the top three classes should be, I think, kind of trivial compared to futzing with matrix sizes. Yeah. Carrie says, just bench Gustav. Gustav is my hedgehog. He's about this much. He weighs 400 grams. Yeah. Dysem says, I have no idea how to exercise at home, but hey, I get at least to set up work from home. Oh, one of my very, very favorite fitness instructors just launched a YouTube channel. I'll tweet about it. She's amazing. I'll share those. And it's like no equipment at home exercises. She does a bunch of like aerial instruction, like, you know, silks and ropes and Cirque du Soleil stuff. Yeah, I'll share those. Those might be helpful. All right. My brain is tired. Maybe our encoding is wrong because we have an extra label. Let's see if removing the correct label helps. So let's see. What's test case? What are we looking at here? I think we can just drop, yeah, and then we want to drop class target. Oh, it's very small. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, that looks right. Let's actually just do that in a little one-liner. Except I'm going to do it in 2 lines because I'm not a monster. Will that work? That won't work. Is it the wrong way for the slash? It is the wrong way for the slash. Excellent. Okay, so it is possible that the reason that we were having weirdnesses is because we had more classes than our original encoder could handle. Nah, nope. Also, you'll notice that these numbers are different every time. They should be the same every time. So that's not good. Her name is Lauren Kell. Kehl. One sec, let me see. I'll just pop it up real quick. To find that. There we go. So Lauren Kell, Kehl. She also done a bunch of like Pilates instruction and training. I'm a big fan. She's fantastic. So. All right, so we've done that. Oh no, I don't want to fit. I want to do, beans. Okay, I don't want to fit. What's the difference between fit transform? I feel like we might be using the wrong fit versus fit transform label encoder. I think we might be using the wrong function. Let's see. Very small. A newbie to data science, don't understand the difference between fit and fit transform. Can anyone simply explain why someone need to transform data? Fitting a model. Both the training data set and the test data set. Fit, transform, sent to the data. Okay, so it should just be transform. Okay, maybe. Okay, so at least the numbers are consistent. That's good. What's not quite so good is that's still really high. That's still really high. I guess we can check and see what it was in the original data set, huh? What did we call this? Test case. Okay, so it was training data. So we want to look at training data iloc 999 and just see what that looks like. Training data.iloc 999. Yeah, okay, so this is what we should be seeing, 414115. What we are seeing is 10, 13, 15, 2. This is wrong. These numbers should not be different than these numbers, and this is more in line with the total number of cases we have. So, why? Why? I'm just going to copy and paste the expected here so we can see what we're looking for. Hold up. I don't think I should have dropped the class target. I think I should actually have kept the class target. All right. Let's see if that fits. Test case encoded. Not fitted yet. All right. Okay. So this is the Okay, so I think the error here is in between it being applied row-wise and it being okay, what does this part look like? That's a label encoder. Excellent. And then it wants a thing to transform. That's good. And D is, yep. I think I do actually need it to be applied though, because I think, I think because we want to apply one, are my slashes backwards? Almost certainly. Yeah, they definitely are. So I think what's happening here is I want to apply the label encoder, each label encoder in turn, to one row of my 1 by n matrix. Yeah. All right. Okay, what's the error? What's wrong? String object has no attribute name. So let's look at just the first one and name. So we've taken just a slice of a data frame, which does have a name. So why does test case not have a name? So this is a data frame. Test case. Test case, are you a data frame? That could be the problem. No, it's an object. Okay. As all right, let's see. Convert series to data frame Python. Data frame to series. Convert data frame series to each other. That's what we're looking for. Convert list. Convert list. Oh, excuse me. Can I just do no, I can't. First I need to import pandas. And then pandas dot data frame, capital D, capital F, and then the test case. Great. Okay, I think this might work because I think our apply is expecting a data frame, and you know what? We can give it a data frame. The numbers are wrong. Also, I never actually got out my, nope, actually I should not be messing with this because that's how I'm getting out my, that's how I'm getting out my data. All right, so this is our expected numbers. It is not what we're getting. All right. I think ready to call it here. I'm removing spaces by hand. That's never a good sign. So we've gotten, I want to say less far than I thought we would get, but to be like perfectly honest, this is about as far as I thought that we'd get today. Because this sort of nonsense always takes forever. For me, I don't know. Maybe other people are much better at this than I am. Better move up this import or it won't work when I run again. All right, so let's real quick just restart the kernel and run it top to bottom and see where we are. All right, top to bottom. Just to make sure that doesn't magically fix anything. Yeah, all right, so we were still getting this error with the case index. So our first error is here with the encoding. Our encoding is wrong. Our second error is here with the case index. If we don't have the case index, if we don't have some way of saying, hey, here's what the labels are, instead of Q050, Q028, and other reasonable labels that our trained classifier expects, we'll get F0 through F19, which is not what we're looking for. So we need to figure out a way to get that that fixed. Other than that, though, we should be good to go. We were able to dump and then load in our dialect classifier and our encoder, so that was good. We just haven't been able to get it to work yet. So we will connect back up with this on Wednesday. Harris says, when you convert to data frame, why does it say 1858 in the second column? That is the encoded value of the target variable. So I think, which is Indianapolis, Indiana in this case, I think. Diamond says, nice to know I'm not the only one who tends to take a baseball bat to the laptop after coding to nowhere. Yeah, I mean, everybody struggles, I think. And I haven't worked with, like, straight up low-level NumPy enough to feel super confident, but this is definitely much easier for me than it was, like, a year ago, for sure. So in the long term, I can notice growth. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. You know, do what you need to be healthy and safe, and take care of each other. And yeah, I will see you all next Wednesday for additional live coding, and we should have some fun new content up on Monday as well, so keep an eye out for that. And thank you for joining. I had a good time today, despite the frustration. It was nice to hang out and chat. All right. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.